All right, what's up, YouTube world? It is your girl here at the Venusian Bull, and I am back with another video of the Planets in the Houses series. And this is the final video culminating the planets in the sixth house, and I will be discussing Pluto in the sixth house for that ass. All right. So, once again, the sixth house has to deal with routines, fixing things, DIY projects, workplace environment, jobs, health and wellness, and what needs to or what has to be done. Assimilation, integration, and where you can be of service. All right. Okay. So, with Pluto in the sixth house, your kind of everyday life is always about like transforming and evolving your kind of daily life in routines. Nothing is ever really, stationary or consistent. It's more about the factors around you. You're not making it crazy. It's like the factors around you, because there needs to be some type of trauma that's circulating when Pluto is involved. You know what I'm saying? Some type of obstacle that you need to overcome, right? Work where you have to research and analyze is very enjoyable. Pluto loves analyzing, getting to the bottom of things beneath the surface. Investigating work and things like that is something that is very useful and practical for Pluto in the sixth house person to be doing. Crisis management. Like, Pluto in the sixth house always say, this is Olivia Pope from Scandal. Like, this is her everyday job, her everyday thing, dealing with crises, dealing with people's problems. And it's just like, sixth house people love helping people and dealing with their problems. But then when you put Pluto there, it's like, it's the darkest of the problems, and you're dealing with prominent people and trying to help them solve their problems and things like that. It's like a dream for a Pluto in the sixth house person to deal with crises and to deal with, traumatic things. You may also like work in like the emergency room at the hospital. Oh my gosh, like especially dealing with like the pandemic and the virus and stuff like that. I mean, you've seen it all in the hospital, honey. And you're not like gore and blood and none of that stuff. That doesn't bother you. So you could definitely be, an assistant to a doctor in there doing surgeries and stuff like that. And you don't flinch, you don't blink, like, because that doesn't bother you. You have to do it every day. You see blood every day. Like, what the hell I look like having a reaction to blood? I see blood every day. I breathe blood. Okay. All right. So, you're a very hard worker and protective of your work as well. Remember, Pluto is very protective. You could also be very obsessed with your work. You know what I'm saying? Back to Olivia Pope, that Pluto in the sixth house. Olivia was very obsessed with her work to the point where it consumed her. She did not like really have a personal life. She didn't have a family life. She didn't really do anything except for work. So that could be something that you go through. Now, obviously, I mentioned that Mars and Saturn are like the workaholics and they're always working, but they may not always enjoy what they're doing. Pluto is going to really dive into their work and really be obsessed with the inner workings of everything that's going on, because they're usually doing something, again, that has to deal with trauma or crises or therapy, or really, or helping people really get out of dark places, right? So they have an obsession with that. They also are obsessed with their fitness and their health. And they actually are prone to potentially having eating disorders, because Pluto does have to deal with binging and purging. So, throwing up and a laxative. So watch the Pluto in the sixth house people. You know what I'm saying? If they go into the bathroom every 10 minutes after they've eaten something, I'm just saying, because they want to have that perfect body. They want to be in perfect shape. They're also, Pluto does have to deal with surgery. So they may be the type of people like, I want that perfect body. I want that, and sixth house has to deal with perfection. So they may want to go under the knife to do that. Let's see here. You love fixing people's problems. This is an area where you can be of service. Like I said before, the fixer. Possible fear of criticism of your work. So like the sun in the sixth house is very sensitive to criticism, but like Pluto in the sixth house, you kind of have this fear and this paranoia about people criticizing your work, because you go to the depths and the deepest places to find the answers, and you're so thorough, and you're like, what if somebody criticizes this? Like, what if somebody doesn't believe me? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if somebody doesn't understand where I'm coming from? You know what I'm saying? So that could be something that you could deal with. Another, in terms of like work, could be like a crime scene investigator and stuff like that. Or like Pluto in the sixth, definitely working with the dead, working at funerals, um, funeral homes rather, or being a coroner and things of that nature. You could have paranoia with work and your everyday routines, like certain things you do like every day. You just like, you have paranoia about. You just like worry, like, what if I forgot to lock the door? Like, what if I accidentally left like the garbage disposal on? Like, what if I forgot to turn off the like, you just get paranoid about kind of like everyday like normal things. Um, Working for yourself is best, as you need to have that power. You can't be controlled or micromanaged. This is a very big thing for Pluto in the sixth house. It's going to be difficult for Pluto in the sixth house to kind of do that 9 to 5, unless they're like in charge and they are the ones that are calling the shots. They don't do micromanaged very well. Yeah, that's not the T for Pluto in the sixth house. And the Pluto in the sixth house people in the work environment, they're the mysterious ones. They can also come off as intimidating in the workplace, and they're the ones that don't really say much, but they have a very powerful presence, and they definitely get their work done, and they're very researched and thorough and all of that great stuff. Um, let's see here. Therapists and fitness trainer or wellness coach are great jobs and ways of being productive. So that's a good type of work to do if you have displacement. Alternative therapies for healing as well, maybe something that you look into, maybe holistic. And also, and I always say this with Pluto placements, but Pluto has to deal with sex. Duh. So sex work can be something that you do, and it's about work. So sex work can be work that you do on a regular basis. Maybe you even have OnlyFans or something like that going on as well. So yeah, just definitely keep that in mind. You also may be the person that has had sex in the workplace if you got Pluto in the sixth house. In your office or somewhere maybe not so secluded or something. You like that little danger. You like that little sense of fear that you might get caught in the workplace. So yeah, y'all kind of nasty. So yeah, especially if you got like Pluto and Venus in the sixth house, you're probably getting it in at work. I mean, maybe if you're smart enough, you go to the car, but it's maybe something about doing it on the desk or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, that was that was kind of fun to discuss and stuff like that. You could also be overly paranoid about the pandemic and about what it's going to bring in terms of this virus, in terms of your health and how it will affect your family and close loved ones. Because Pluto, like, death doesn't really phase a Pluto person. And with Pluto in the sixth house, especially if you work like in the healthcare field or you work at a funeral home, you probably are kind of seeing death on a regular basis, or at least dealing with trauma, you know what I'm saying, on a regular basis. So it's like, it kind of doesn't phase you, but you're still like kind of paranoid about what could come about in this. So remember, the evolution, the transformation is always happening. So changing jobs. So like all of the jobs that I mentioned, you could be a fitness trainer and then you decide that you want to be a doctor, or then you decide you want to be a therapist, or then you decide you want to be in crisis management. So you're forever evolving the type of work that you do, and you're always transforming in that aspect. Okay, so I hope this resonated with you. Let me know if you have this placement and any characteristics that you would put that represent a Pluto in the sixth house person. This concludes my Planets in the Houses series for the sixth house. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you when, you know what? I'll just see you in the next video. All right, bye-bye.